Hi, I'm Marisa Murray with a quick tip this week for you. One of the things I do in many of my workshops is I ask people to share some of their recent successes to help them fully own their accomplishments. It's important for us when we're motivating ourselves on a regular basis to put our best self forward, to really push ourselves into uncomfortable situations, to deal with a little bit of risk so that we're stretching ourselves, that we remind ourselves of the accomplishments that we have. And so for many of my workshops, I actually specifically ask people, say your name, introduce yourself, and tell us about a recent accomplishment. And when I do that, it's amazing how much just that simple task of letting people share something that they're proud of has a couple of wonderful knock-on effects. The first is that that person gets a chance to celebrate in a public forum an acknowledgement, and obviously own their own messages around that accomplishment and why it's important to them. The second is that it helps people, I believe, get inspired by that success. But there is one risk to this, and for this risk, I actually sometimes just call it out. And this risk is what I will call comparison. So comparison is interesting. So when we're doing these exercises where people come forth and they say, my name is Marisa and I am amazingly thrilled that this week I hit 1,000 views on one of my blogs. There is this immediate celebration in the room, and then occasionally in some people's heads, comparison will sneak in. And what I explain in my workshops is that comparison has two paths. When you're in comparison, you know you're in comparison when you hear yourself somewhere in your head say, I want that, or I don't want that. Because if you want it or don't want it, you're clearly comparing. And then as soon as that steps into your world, the notion of comparison, you have two journeys you can take. One journey is to inspiration, and the other journey is to judgment. One journey is fuel, the other journey is poison. Poison to your dreams, poison to your motivation, poison to your life. So here's one way to build this muscle around always shifting. And this isn't even when people are speaking. This could be when you're reading about someone else's business, when you're reading somebody else's success, when you're hearing about somebody else's promotion. When you hear your head say, I want that or I don't want that, you know you're in comparison. And when you step into comparison, you need to make a choice. And again, this is a muscle of, do I allow myself to go into judgment? And judgment sounds like one of two things. Either they don't deserve that or they shouldn't want that. And both of those are poison. Inspiration, on the other, sounds like, if they can do that, imagine what could I do? Or if they can do that, imagine what we could do together. Or some version of future-oriented, possibilities-oriented. So the very first step to developing a habit pattern around being able to jump into inspiration versus judgment is to notice when you're in comparison. So my tip for you this week is notice when you're in comparison, notice whether your easy path is to inspiration or judgment, and try to work towards stepping deliberately towards inspiration when you hear or notice someone else's success. So I hope that helps. Give it a shot. Let me know how it goes, and have a great week.